In this video, we analyze what has made Unai Emery's Aston Villa so remarkable this season. Aston Villa have been somewhat flexible in formation this season within Unai Emery's rigid structures, ensuring that they play the same way even despite subtle personnel changes. The most typical way of looking at the Villains is as either a 4-2-3-1 or 4-4-2, which is certainly their most common defensive shape. An organized back four has long been Emery's favorite way to play, and he's built a reputation around dominating European football through his defensive tactics. Their two banks of four are incredibly difficult to break down and are filled with defensive destroyers like Boubacar Kamara and Ezri Konsa. Martinez has earned praise as one of the best keepers in the world since his move from backup at Arsenal to first choice at Villa, and nothing's changed this time around. His command, leadership, and immaculate reflexes ensure that even if the Lions mess up, Martinez is there to clean up the mess. The back four's been steady in front of Martinez. But of all the centre-backs at the club, Ezri Konsa's been the most impressive. His 1v1 defending is practically unmatched in the league, and he's even shown versatility this season by moving out to right back this season. Fullbacks are also usually essential to Emery's principles, including bursting forward into the attack. That's where Alex Moreno has had a tougher time this season breaking into the team, given the high-quality start from former Barça man Lucas Digne. Matty Cash has held down the mantle on the other side in a more defensive stance, but sometimes he'll even push forward to accommodate an extra centre-back in the side. The midfield is one of the best in the league, featuring one of the players of the season thus far, Douglas Luiz. Luiz has always been sublime on the defensive end but has upped both his box-to-box energy and creative output this campaign. Partially responsible for that is his relationship with the true defensive holder in Boubacar Kamara, not to mention the energy of inverted wingers like Jacob Ramsey or John McGinn who can slot inside. Similar to his approach with fullbacks, Emery prefers one that is more flamboyant and threatening on the attack and one that can contribute more in central areas. Leon Bailey's found his home on the right-hand side to exude all of his trickery, with John McGinn an undroppable figurehead rampaging around the pitch. That allows Lucas Digne to go forward, and new signing Moussa Diaby to also play centrally, up alongside Ollie Watkins. Speaking of Ollie Watkins, he's been the star of the team, helping the Lions to score many goals in matches. Beyond the goals, Watkins has contributed to nearly every attack Aston Villa have conjured up this season, making him essential to their team. In attack, Aston Villa have all the quality they need to build patiently out from the back and work the ball up the pitch through the thirds. Pau Torres is an excellent ball carrier, Ezri Konsa rarely gives the ball away, and Douglas Luiz has the quality to control games from midfield. But Emery's team is always looking for that cutting-edge pass into Ollie Watkins. He'll drop toward the ball and link inside his half, but he's most dangerous when you can hit his running power in the channels. Douglas Luiz and Lucas Digne are immaculate at hitting long passes across the pitch, ensuring that Villa doesn't always have to keep the ball to control games. Their long passing moves can immediately spearhead quick attacks in the blink of an eye, something that always allows Villa to score goals for fun. They love to combine in tight spaces and work the ball in close quarters, before breaking free with a swift bit of movement in the wide areas or a give-and-go combination with the likes of Watkins and McGinn. When they get higher up the pitch looking to break down defensive units, you may even see Pau Torres expanding his horizons and carrying forward. One centre-back will stay deep as the sweeper, as the right back also hangs low. With Kamara's tenacity in front of them, they have a sound rest defense in place to push other members of their team further forward, again allowing for close connections in the final third and the ability to engage Ollie Watkins. Villains have exuded the most attacking threat on the break. They look for quick routes to goal with an emphasis on the wide channels, where they can release the likes of McGinn, Diaby, or Watkins into space. Powerful ball carriers like Jacob Ramsey or Moussa Diaby may also be responsible for driving the team through the center, as the left back gallops up the pitch to join the attack. Lucas Digny's been great at making late-arriving runs onto the scene to contribute to final third finishes, while Douglas Luiz can always strike from a distance. Combine that counter-attacking potency with their set-piece prowess and spread of players that can find the back of the net, and it's no surprise why Villa have found the back of the net so often this season. Unai Emery's teams are often built around defensive resilience, and the same can certainly be said of Aston Villa since the Spaniard entered the door. Their defense is built around a compact 4-4-2 and a relative man-to-man approach where players in midfield will often screen passes into the opposition's attacking players. Both the front two and midfield four are brilliant at screening those passes and limiting the opposition's route forward, often forcing bad passes or a backward move. That's where Ollie Watkins can press on his own, as the others react by marking opposition players likely to receive the next pass. Since they don't press with all that much intense vigor yet limit passing opportunities around the pitch, opposition sides often have no choice but to go long against the villains. This is where Emery's team has been the best on the block, catching their opposition offside more than anyone else. The back four are always quick to organize themselves and adopt a high line within the overarching compactness. That leaves plenty of space for opposition players to run into, and plenty of space for Martinez to cover. But their organization often pays dividends in catching players offside, and the Argentinian keeper plays his part whenever required. That can be a weakness if opposition sides time the run correctly, but more often than not, the villains come out on top. In beating the defensive resilience, opposition sides have often tried to hit Aston Villa's left-hand channel, which lacks the same level of pace and 1v1 superiority as the right. They can be caught out with a quick ball over the top or a pass into space for a winger to run onto. Even then, getting past the Villa defense still needs to end with a shot against Emi Martinez, who remains one of the most difficult keepers to beat. Emery improved Villa's rest defense after coming into the club, specifically by positioning Luiz alongside Kamara in a double pivot. Ezri Konsa has been sublime when defending in transition, always using his strength to nudge speedy attackers off the ball. Emi Martinez meanwhile is one of the most defensively active sweeper keepers in the league. Since they also counterpress with intensity and allow the fullbacks to drop back into position as uninvolved members of that process, Emery tends to remain one step ahead of the position.